Emily argues that the case should be done in Texas because she and the kids live here. Well, guess what? She's wrong. Continuing jurisdiction. It's a concept that might seem irrelevant until it suddenly becomes crucial. If you've been to court in Georgia for a divorce, legitimation, or paternity case, pay close attention. If you haven't been to court for this, you should pay even closer attention. It could happen to you someday, and I want you to understand this stuff. So let's break this down with a story, okay? Alice and Emily divorced in Georgia 6 years ago. Now, 3 years ago, Emily moved to Texas with her 2 children. But before moving, she filed a modification case in Georgia, updating their parenting plan to reflect the kids being in Texas and adjusting child support to cover Alice's travel costs to come see the kids in Texas. Now, fast forward 3 years, okay? Alice has a new job with different income and much more time to spend with the kids. Remember, he's still in Georgia. He wants to file for another modification. 4 attorneys tell him he needs to file his case in Texas since the kids live there now. Then he calls me. Here's what I told him. Forget those attorneys. They have no idea what they're talking about. They should just turn in their licenses. Okay, I left off that last part. But here's why I said that. There's a concept called continuing jurisdiction, meaning authority or control. So jurisdiction means authority and control. Now, we have something called the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act. That's a lot of words. They use the acronym UCCJEA. And also, here comes another one, the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, UIFSA, also called UIFSA. Okay, by the end of this video, you'll know more than most of the public and even more than many family law attorneys, which is why I'm doing this video and so many others on my social channels. So back to continuing jurisdiction in this story here. When a court in Georgia issues child custody or child support orders, it retains ongoing jurisdiction. Remember, that means control over the case. So this means that Georgia can oversee and modify orders as the circumstances change. Now, because Alex is still in Georgia, the Georgia court retains control. Well, why is that? It's all about fairness. How fair would it be for Alex to have to chase Emily all the way across the country when he's still at the home, living in the home that they used to share? That wouldn't be fair, would it? She moved, he didn't, he stayed here. Now, about the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act, that's the one that's called UCCJEA and that deals with custody. Georgia follows the UCCJEA, which decides which state should handle child custody cases in order to prevent conflicting decisions. So, back to our story. In Alex and Emily's case, the UCCJEA gives Georgia continuing, that means ongoing, jurisdiction, that means control over child custody because Alex remains here. Next, the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, UIFSA, okay? Similar to the UCCJEA, and I know there's a lot of letters I'm throwing at you, but similar to the UCCJEA, the UIFSA, that's the one about child support, provides a framework for determining where child support modifications can be made. So back to our story, since Alex is still in Georgia, then Georgia is going to maintain continuing exclusive jurisdiction, again, that means ongoing control over child support modifications from its courts. So to simplify this, even if a parent or a child moves to another state, Georgia maintains authority over its child custody and support orders if, now this is the really important part, if one parent still lives here. So in our story, Alex, the dad, files a modification of parenting time and child support in Georgia, and he serves Emily in her new state. Emily argues that the case should be done in Texas because she and the kids live here. Well, guess what? She's wrong. Meaning she was saying that the kids, because the kids still are now living in Texas, that they should do the case in Texas. And she's wrong because Georgia has, come on, say it with me now, continuing jurisdiction, ongoing control. So Emily might try to argue that it's more sensible for the child custody matters now to be handled in Texas where the children live, but I've got counter arguments ready for that already. You remember that Emily would have to convince the Georgia court to allow the Texas jurisdiction because Georgia has automatic jurisdiction, meaning ongoing control, whereas Texas needs to get Georgia's permission. Just think about the rights of the parent who's staying in the state of Georgia. The other parent up and left, Alex, the father in this case, stayed in Georgia, and so this is all about the fairness of not making him chase Emily all over the place to do modifications. So for child support modifications, there's no argument to be made for Texas jurisdiction, so that's completely off the table. I know this is a lot of information, but here's the key takeaway, okay? Just remember this part. If you had a child custody or child support case in Georgia and the other parent moves out of state, but you're still in Georgia, you can file your modifications here in Georgia. And if they file a modification against you, they also have to file in Georgia as well. So I know this has been a lot of information. It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose. Go back and rewatch it. That'll help you. I hope it all helps you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to click subscribe, like, follow, and turn on the alerts so that you'll get notified when we post our newest videos. Please share these videos, leave us comments, and ask us questions. Also, join our Facebook group at Georgia Divorce and Custody, and I'll see you again on the next video.